Welcome back to the channel. Tilly here, and I got something special for you. So we are going to be explaining the system that I use. It's kind of hard. I'm dancing around it in the comments about not using breakpoints and how what I'm looking for. Let me help you understand what I see. So this system is used to make small increments to help you hold the pocket. It is designed for bowlers that are around or above 200 average due to accuracy, and then the revs don't matter, which is a great thing to do. The system has been used by many greats, and some of the greats have been Mark Roth. He's 34 titles, 2 majors. We go into Michael Haugen Jr., who has 23 regional titles, 5 national titles, 3 PBA 50 national titles, and 1 PBA 50 major. And then you might know him the most, Jakob Butturff, 27 regionals. I believe he also holds a record for like the highest average overall regionals, like at 230, something ridiculous. And then he also has 8 national titles along with 1 major. The person that's been showing me this brought me in. It's Coach Nassberg. He used to be at ASU, but he is retired from coaching out there. So I decided to get to it, but we're going to talk about the early eye. So now we're getting to the system of the early eye. It's been practiced and worked with for countless amount of decades. Coach Nassberg has been on it for about 20 years, and this is a way to see the lanes front to the back. We don't care the one position of the lane. We don't care about this position of the lane. We want all of it. We were trying to read the whole lane to get all the information we can get from it. In this system, the only thing we're about are 2 points of contacts, and they are in the non-friction zone, and that is your arrows and indicator dots. There is initially no friction in this area, but as the series goes on, you're going to have to get out of the friction, find some more oil again. This is where we call the fronts. As a bowler, if you start going high, this means you need to start moving further left because your ball is reading really early. Let's do a little breakdown of the lane so we can know exactly what we're talking about. A quick synopsis of the lane. We all know the lane is 60 feet. So the non-friction zone, I mentioned it before, is the first 15 feet of the lane. So usually up to your arrows. So what you're looking for in the arrows is obviously 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Same goes for the lefties. There's no reverse order or anything. You can't call it the exact same. And before the arrows, you have your indicator dots. Indicator dots being 3, 5, 8, 11, and 14 are the main ones you're going to be looking at. And it's still labeled the same as the left side. Inside 14, there's no more dots. It's just the boards itself. But as we get to the friction zone, this is where we all find our breakpoint. But the thing with breakpoint is it's constantly changing throughout the night. You might notice as you start moving left, left, and left for righties, your ball might not go out as far because it's getting so much friction and it's coming back earlier. So your breakpoint's going to be changing throughout the night. It can be the same, but we're not worried on the exact number of the breakpoint. It's more for the entry angle of the ball into the pocket. Now that we understand it a bit more, to create a correct launch angle, to get the higher scores, each bowler will get comfortable by having a straighter or steeper approach. We want to start off as straight as we can and work into left. So now we're going to learn a bit. We're going to talk what the numbers mean. First number is for your feet. Second number is for the arrows. I'm standing at 20 and 7. My feet are on 20. I'm looking at the board 7 right next to the first arrow. Now that we kind of understood that a little bit, if I want to throw a straighter ball, 18 and 8. So I'm standing at 8, looking at 8. If I want to stand steeper, I'm standing at 28, looking at 11. How does early eye actually work? So if I'm standing on 20, looking at 7, my eyes are going to naturally fall to indicator dots. The goal is to hit the mark, but it's not exactly a hard target. It's okay to be in on it. You can use this system on any part of the lane and it cannot be left of 20. at the arrows. This will confuse you, and as a quick tip, the pocket is at 17 and a half board. If you go inside that, the ball is not going to get beyond that. They have reaction in. But we'll explain more with getting deeper later with the fake eye to get a bigger grasp of how it's going to come in play, so you're not like, why did I not hit my mark? But we'll explain it later. But we have to understand the early eye first. So now that we've understood early eye, we're going to be able to use this on any length of pattern, but you must first establish your gutter. So like on the shorter patterns, your gutter might be like 1, 2, or the ditch channel. But on a longer pattern, like a 44 foot, it's not going to be the ditch channel. You don't want to get out the 5 board. You don't want to get it out there. So you're now your gutter, you mentally put a blockage like at board 9, 10 after you establish it. To find the established gutter, you're going to want to throw with 0 head belly, so straight as you can, to as close to a 0 long angle, and you're going to look for reaction, not friction. When the ball starts getting that reaction and hooking, so if I established it at 9, move my eyes to right, I can start at 11. That's where I start doing my practice, start doing like actual lining up, like start at 11. We know of the rule of 31, 42 foot pattern, minus 31, 11. But don't use that as a hard answer, as the topography can override that. As well as you can read the pattern graph, and as you see the pattern graph, the sudden drops you can find on your house patterns or even your sport patterns, like, hey, like when it's all flat, you kind of want to find that little, like the second board starts dropping, where it drops off, a gradual drop. That'd be a good place for your eyes, because it's not as tight and it's trying to loosen up and get into that friction. For a longer shot, I have an example right here. It's me playing on the EJ Tackett pattern. I believe I was at 22 and 12 for this shot, to show you just how tight you can be from being for longer patterns. And then with shorter patterns, there is a caveat with shorter patterns. You don't always have to move your eyes in. Because of the early eye, I can stay starting on 13.3 and then move into 20 and 3, because my eyes won't ever move, because I'm still getting good reaction. So if I just keep following it in, my ball's still moving in every time because my feet are moving. But bringing my eyes in will get the ball and even like get my line back tighter. The example I have of this was the Dale Ballard, which was I think a 36 foot pattern, where I have my shot from 17 and 3 to 24 and 3. Now we talked about all of the early eye, kind of knew how to apply it. How do you make your moves? Well, kind of simple actually. That's the best thing about it, with all the cheat sheet that has been made throughout all of the years of experience. So do you want like a weak 10 or do you want a solid 10? So a weak 10 is when I leave and it's just like a flat 10, just kind of hanging out there. I want to move a half board right. So now instead of staying at 20 and 7, I'm at 19 and a half and 7. So now that we have the other one, the solid 10, so like the wrap 10, we're gonna move a half board to the left. All we're doing in these moves is changing the angle into the pocket and to get the 6 into the 10. Now another example is if you come in high, a 3, 6, 10, you move 2 and 0. So 20 and 7, I go 22 and 7 the next shot, because get that ball to get out there a little bit further, and change that angle a bit. You came in a little sharp, but let's smooth that sharpness out a little bit. Now we learned a taste of the moves. How do you play? Obviously a game is 10 frames, but 5 frames are in the right lane, 5 frames are in the left lane. Each lane plays differently. Never put them the same, because if you put them the same, you're going to lose your how the lanes are transitioning. Because the left lane could be, like in my experience, the left lane is usually half board to 1 and 0 more than the right lane, meaning 1 board with the feet, 0 with the eyes for the left. And sometimes on certain alleys, the end pairs hook a lot more than the middle pairs. So if you take all your notes from all your bowling alleys, you're going to learn a bunch about stuff and trends, and you'll start to see this. Now we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Why is it I'm throwing towards 12, but I'm hitting the 5th arrow? Well, this is called fake eye. You may not even know you're doing it right now, because you may be looking further right, but you're still pulling in. To fully understand fake eye, you kind of already do it, but you have to understand the early eye system. It's when the heads or the non-friction zone starts to get the friction. The basic of this is trying to hit your mark, but you're not trying to hit your mark. You're using it as a guide. But the thing with the system is, as you move further left, your throw is not changing. Your eyes may be going over here, but you're not throwing this way all of a sudden. You're still throwing the exact same shot. The only difference is you're changing the angle of the ball, how it's going to enter the pocket from the angle of the launch. But the fake eye, you can think of it, let's go to the baseball diamond. You have a baseball diamond, you have a pitcher, and you have the batter. Now if a pitch, just throw straight fastball, it's going to go straight down the line, straight down dead center, meet pitch. Now add a 40-mile-per-hour crosswind in there. That pitch is going to veer off and possibly go into be a ball. That is the fake eye that we're talking about. So even though I am standing on 33 and 12, I'm not actually going to hit the 12 board. I might be hitting 24 or 25. And here's a video from this in a house league for how deep I have to get. I've told you a bit about early eye and the fake eye. The moves will always stay the same no matter the length of the pattern. So if you're transitioning, I was telling you the 3-6-10 to 2-0-0, if it's 50 feet, you're still making a 2-0, and if it's 35 feet, you're still making a 2-0 move. All patterns, lengths, ratios are played the same in theory. Topography will overrule it all, but in theory, they're all played the same. As we talked about in the friction zone, breakpoints don't matter because they are ever changing throughout the night. What we're most worried about is the entry angle. The main thing is we don't care about hitting our marks in the middle. We don't care about hitting our marks later in the game. You may be hitting them early, it's because you're playing really tight. But as you get opening your lines up, you're not going to be hitting them as much. We only care about the pinfall and holding the pocket. Holding the pocket, make your spares. The pinfall, 3-6-10, remember 2-0 left. Flat 10, weak 10, half board right. Solid 10, wrap 10, half board left. With the feet, rev rate does not apply on the system. It's just knowing your moves. If you really are interested in this, reach out to Jordan Nassberg on Facebook if you would like to know more. His email is jordannassberg@icloud.com. I've been working with him for about 1.5 years. Thanks, Mike. He's a subscriber of the channel. He kind of introduced me to him, and I was lucky enough for Jordan to onboard me. So it helps simplify your game, and once you've learned this, you'll be able to shoot higher scores. My average has jumped from 190 to 220 on house. I'm starting to be more regular in the top of tournaments, and then I've qualified for 3 regionals now since I've been onboarded. So I am actually really in love with the improvement, hoping to actually take that next level and actually get into the top 5 and get the next level of the regionals. I am getting there. I am excited. Much more learning to do, but I hope I have taught you a little bit of what I do. And if you're curious reach out to Jordan. I'll put them also in the description. But leave your comments down below what you think, and have a good one, adventurers. Peace.